Hello, all my fellow crafty enthusiasts. I've got a journal share today of a vintage wedding themed journal that I made for my friend Nery Ortiz. She's been just wonderful, sending me the most amazing pieces that she offers in her shop. And she just loves everything about weddings. And given the pieces that I was able to use from her in this, you will definitely be able to see why. It's a soft cover journal, and I had to make a decision with all the beautiful pieces that she sent, the beaded and appliqued silk strips, trims, the laces. I decided to go with an off-white cream and silver color for it. The bottom has got some fabulous drippings. The top has different snippets popping out between the tabs. The spine was another fabulous piece of trim. I think that's 2 1/4, might be 2 inches. I don't have my ruler right here. The pearls and the sequins, just stunning. And then the back, this ribbon as well. The delicate little flowers and designs in here with the silver piping. And this is some off-white chenille. On the cover, I actually had little pieces left over from a different strip similar to the top and bottom. I had extra little pieces, and I used them as frames in the corner. The bride is one of the Gibson girls that I have in my wedding image set in my shop. And it just has various laces in back of it layered. It was so much fun putting this together. And the lace that frames the silver on the front. Okay, I have meowing cats. I'm like a magnet as soon as I turn on the video. And I'm back. My cats think I'm Carlton the doorman. Anybody remember, what was that? Mary Tyler Moore or Rhoda, one of those shows. Anyways, let's peek inside. I get a lot of questions about where I buy sari silk these days. And I've got 2 shops. One's in the US and one's in Canada. I'm in the US. I have no problem with shipping from either. And I'll stick those links down in the box under this video for you guys. So it is a soft cover. I just want to show you this at the top. Once I fussy cut this out, don't they look like little angels? It struck me as those dancing on each side. I thought that was fun. The bottom is the same piece, but it's just got the one angel in it. Anyways, inside. All of the lace pieces, I'm pretty sure all of them came from Nery's packages, wonderful packages. We have the wonderful wedding, little pocket here with a card that says, I do. Just such yummy designs on all the lace. I just didn't know what to do with this, so I just put it on the page to do its own thing. Can you see the sparkles with the shimmery beads that are in there? It's just spectacular. Little pretty bride stitched up there. And a card that says the bouquet. Little pocket down here on a doily. I had fun with the little tags. Little little birds, little pretty emblem. I knew this tiny tag would get lost in there, so I put a little ribbon for a yank cord on it so that it would pull right out. So there's lots of room to write and for her to add any cards or ephemera she might have to these. Just another pretty little doodad, or whatnot. What do you call it if it doesn't have a hole in it? It's not a brad. It's not ephemera. I always think of as paper. Just a little journal spot there. Oh, I just love that painting. As an added challenge today, I have a new phone. It's the new iPhone Pro Max 14, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I think I have the focus on so it won't jump you around as I move things. I don't know. It's all a grand experiment. I hate upgrades. This I printed with a laser printer onto the page before I tea-dyed it, and it's Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark. And I will hold this up so you can pause it and read the rest yourself if you'd like. Another pretty ribbon with the little silver piping. Nery has the eye, the best eye for these pretty things. The image stitched in there. Some pretty little tags. And I put a strip of sari here and a strip of muslin. It's a little bit faded because I used almost the same color stitching down it. Just some fun stenciling. For the banners, I used some old-fashioned script that looks like it could be the font you would find on old, proper wedding invitations. I think this is one of the only things that I didn't get through Nery. And, you know, I bought it years ago and I never used the color white. And this didn't tea dye well, so I've had it in white ever since. And now I had a place for it. It was waiting for you, Nery. Once upon a time. And just a paper stamped tea dye index card there. I love all the different traditions that are shown in the paintings of brides getting ready, getting advice, kind of the final time with their family and their parents. Another fabulous piece of stripping that I just kind of fussy cut and then put in so it would stay as a pocket. And pretty little tag, marrying the officer. I love this poem. I was not familiar with it until I made this journal. Let me read it to you. It's by Mark Twain. These I can promise. I cannot promise you a life of sunshine. I cannot promise riches, wealth, or gold. I cannot promise you an easy pathway that leads away from change or growing old. But I can promise all my heart's devotion, a smile to chase away your tears of sorrow, a love that's ever true and ever growing, a hand to hold in yours through each tomorrow. Okay, and it's okay if you got a little teary there. I did it almost every time I've read that. It is just wonderful and, you know, in keeping with the vintage vintage wedding thing. And then, of course, this is the most spectacular piece in the whole set. And when you guys come across things like this, I mean, this has got the netting. I did want to make sure that when it closed, that it wouldn't have to be crimped when this tied. So if you have any pieces that are odd shaped and don't know what to do, try it different ways around your page. But just spectacular. The pearls, the strings of beaded pearls and shimmering. And it gives you really a three-sided floof to drip and tab. So I had all my pages out and I didn't have anything divided up other than just the naked pages, and I took that piece and I said, well, that's second signature. My little voice told me. The classic bride here. Just a little index card with some pretty flower piping. And I think I had just stitched that onto the card here before I stitched it as a pocket. And all these images are in, I think it's called The Wedding set in my shop. The most pretty little dainty things. I don't know what to call it besides a whatnot, a doodad. It's not really a sequin if it's in a shape. I always think of a sequin as round or gem-shaped. Just love this picture with the fine little daisies in the background. I imagine she is looking to alter or lay out her wedding dress. And of course, the fabulous lace. Guess I could straighten you guys up here, sorry. I do everything at an angle. I have to remind myself. The camera goes like this. Okay. Another wonderful little bride. And just an extra little piece that I was playing with from, actually it's from that strip. Probably was the next piece over. It made a nice little edge to the page. This is different silver piping down here. The circles with the little coils, and then the pearls and sequins in the dash. I just have never worked with anything quite like this before. And I'm so glad I can do this for Nery. She has opened my horizons. That gorgeous. Okay, so I looked in my Norman Rockwell picture book collections to put a page or two in here. And the only thing he did for a wedding is actually the back page of this journal, I think. And he didn't do anything on marriage and weddings, so to speak. But I saw this and I took a good look at it, and my husband said, well, that's not a wedding picture. I said, look at that. Back in that day, the way they're kissing each other, they got married. It is a very romantic picture, and I just thought that I could get away with putting that in here. So this is a piece of lace that I just have paper clipped at the top so it doesn't pull out. And this was one of the fabulous pieces that Nery sent. And I knew it needed to go here. But if I had sewed it on something down here, it would have been clunkier. This way, you can remove it. You can move it to a different part of the book if you're writing in or working on a part of it. I just thought that was so pretty. Little fabric rose in the middle. And this piece, again, I had to make a pocket. It's just so gorgeous, the detail in the lace and the scallops. Just a fun index card with a little festiveness. And an old lady's home journal. Advice before the wedding. family. Some scripted tea-dyed page. I am not reading you poetry again. I will pause this. I have a cat playing with my foot. Sorry. I will pause this in case you want to read it. It's How Do I Love Thee? Let Me Count the Ways by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And then this was a digi-stamp that I got, a PNG, and I wanted to mention this too because I've had several questions on it. Pixabay, I'll put that link down below the video. Pixabay is a great place to get royalty-free photographs, but they also have illustrations. They have things that you could use as paper, that you can use as background, and they've got PNGs, and I went searching to see if they had a few, you know, black and white images to use as digi-stamps. So that's where I found this and one other that's later in the journal. So I thought that was a great find. Happy couple. A couple little fun tags. Again, another Rockwell picture. The same thing. She's telling his fortune. I would imagine she's telling them how many bedrooms she wants in the house and how many kids she thinks they'll have. It was just always struck me as a very romantic thing, so I went ahead and added it to the wedding journal. Fabulous tab up here. Ooh, a sticky page. There we go. Some pretty lace. Oh, the best man does not want to stay put. It's always got to be one, huh? One in the group. Got love here, stenciled on the page. And then some little drippy pearls that I made. And again, with the corner, if you can place it off, you get that exploding effect almost, even if all of your tabs and everything else is pretty orderly. You can just wing it right in there. Love that. The bridesmaids are almost as fun as looking at the expression on the bride's face. Here's a stamp card with some wedding rings, a little pocket that says the rings. Now, I got to pick this up. I'm only to this third signature. This is another digi-stamp from Pixabay. And I put a little passage by Thoreau down here. There is no remedy for love but to love more. Love this butterfly. I wanted to make sure I could work that in somewhere, and right off the corner of the page, it gives it the extra layer there, just with a little lace under it. Doilies. And they lived happily ever after. Little card down here that says commitment. And they're stitching on her wedding dress. Another little lace tab, and I just made a few crystal drippings there. Some more of that stunning silver, and a little extra fussy cut from another strip of it. A few little fun whatnots. I even stitched a little silver dripping off below that one. And it's all put on the music paper. Love the texture that this feels like, the music paper when I tea dye it. And it comes out in a perforated, spiral binding. So I usually just cut the edges of it off and run it through with regular pages to tea dye. Give you some variety. And the classic bride there. This is Vows. Some more pretty little lace above and below. Reminded me of Queen Elizabeth, who I believe painted her face quite white in a ceremony to... Anyways, I don't know if that's an Elizabethan thing or if that was done in other cultures. I just don't know enough, but look at the dress. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. Along with this lace. Pretty. This is actually a brush that came in Photoshop. I just love playing with the different layers of the flowers. Seem like we should put some in the wedding journal. This is the Kennedy's wedding. This is when John F. Kennedy married Jacqueline Bouvier, and the photographer donated the rights and the pictures to the Library of Congress, so they are in the public domain for anyone to use. And I do have a printable for this also in my shop if you don't want to go spend the day at the Library of Congress. Just, there was never so classy a picture of our the American Camelot, I think they called it. And in the pocket I have some more pictures from the Kennedy wedding. And I stitched some sari here, little white stitching scalloped in it, and beginnings, little stamping, little edging. I loved that layout though. It was fun. Royal wedding. Now, this bride just looks distraught. I really thought she looked nervous. Maybe she just does not want to leave Granny alone and she's looking forward to her life. We'll put a nice narrative on that. The tag, the stamping, this belongs to. And there's a little pocket there with hugs and kisses inside. So many different ways to get married, and there's been so many traditions, little ruffle, that it was fun to look at all the different ways it's depicted. Some more of that pretty, it's a different design than the one that's on the back cover. I love the weight in that, the texture. And the rings. Okay, to the last signature. We have what I'm going to go with is an engaged couple, or soon will be, because they look like they're courting. Getting a blessing from her father, her grandfather. Another design of fabulous lace down here. And here, the fabulous pearl button. And I deliberately put it there so that when we close the cover, it just It just peeks right through everything, and you can see it down there. Made the bottom shimmer. Don't want to neglect the end of the journal. So here is that fabulous button. And of course, music at the reception, music to walk down the aisle with, a toast. And some washi, some stenciling, some stamping. Another variety of fabulous ribbon. Little love stenciled on the bottom. Just a pretty little index card. I do love that one too. Great. I hope this is autofocusing well. Such a great illustration. And again, I just fussy cut the little flower right out of this fabulous, it seems rude to call it a blob of crochet. They're appliques, but can you still call it an applique once it has the beads and the sequins and things like that on it? I don't know the right words. Some pretty lace down the edge, and a little pretty scallop corner up there. Made sure it just went off the page again to add the foof. And the lovebirds. This is Trust. It's very lightly stenciled on. And had fun with these tiny little tags, adding some bling. And the back wasn't flat, but it had just enough of a thing where they glued right to the little holes on the tags. This is really an adventure. I did a whole lot of things making this that I don't usually do. I haven't done before, or I didn't do it this way, and really, really a neat experience. Again, with this fabulous lace. I hope the sun's sparkling off some of this for you guys. And there is the Norman Rockwell wedding picture called Signing the Register. And then, of course, weddings end, we hope, with a honeymoon. I put these cute little tags with the bows on them. Just a wonderful collection of things that Nery has sent. I stuck one of my cards back there. So that's the wedding journal. Oh, yes. What fun. The sari is going to be shedding for at least 6 months. Well, I appreciate you guys popping in to take a look. I just finished planting my spring garden, and we're still doing things building-wise on my mom's cottage across the street, but she and my daughter and her daughter have moved in, and we are busier now than ever, but it's a good busy, and I'm crafting through it, so yay. Yay. So I anticipate being back with more videos and more journals, and hopefully we'll see bears soon. I'm really hoping the bears visit us soon. So have a great day, you guys, and take some extra time to get some crafting in if you haven't done that today. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.